Here we go! Game 1 in our series between Furters versus Zul'jin Distillery. Zul'jin Distillery won the coin flip, deciding to go for the map pick. Furters banned out Cursed Hollow and Alterac Pass, and Zul'jin Distillery banned out Sky Temple and Velskaya Foundry, then taking us to Tomb of the Spider Queen. And they're taking their time for the draft. Here I am, moving at breakneck speed, and they're slowing it down now. They're waiting on me. That's why I have to end the timer. But, yeah, while we're sitting here in the draft, I am going to touch base with everybody. How is everyone doing today? I am Shadonis, the caster for this evening. Thank you all for joining me, and yeah, I don't think I have much to touch on here. In between game 1 and 2, I'll touch on who's favorite and whatnot. I don't really need anyone here. Yeah, we're already in it. We're getting rolling. Take everything. Oh, yes. We are joined by my favorite mod. You did not bribe me to say that. Definitely not. So things should be a little more smoother than they have been so far. As we do get the first pick, let's go ahead and hop into the draft. Mentally, obviously, we've already been here, but the tank star pick is happening today, as Diablo and Muradin are picked up, as well as Van, as well as Zul'jin and Johanna. Garrosh is our first pick for the evening. Continuing the theme of starving out the tanks, and a Nubarak following up after. I guess should help keep Garrosh at bay a little bit. Beetle is a bit risky. We do see the Uther as well as a Rexar, so there's a lot of crowd control on those first initial 3 picks. So, as well as a lot of front, lots of melee. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle it. They may be going for everyone's their own solo laner type strategy. We've seen that work pretty well. Not in a competitive environment, but I don't know why it wouldn't work in a competitive environment. Greymane is the next ban on the chopping block. No one wants the wolf today, apparently. I don't usually see the wolf now that I'm thinking about it. It's been a while since I've seen Greymane played. Stukov! This is one of his better maps, so it makes sense that he can stand out here. Plus, if you just shove Garrosh away, he shows up about 1,000 years later. So that makes sense. Kel'Thas is the next pickup. Again, lots of crowd control already. You got a Nubarak double stun, Kel'Thas stun, Uther Rexar stun, Garrosh stun, everyone has stuns. Except Leoric. Leoric does not have stuns. Thanks also to a little early for the prediction, but hey. Will work.
Anytime you're ready.
Crafting music's a little loud. I'll turn things down a bit. Hopefully that is good. Raynor and Mephisto are the next pickup, so Uther is solo healing. That's uncommon. Usually you see Uther in duo heal comps. Here's what this next is. It's a healer. Anduin. Makes sense. I don't know why I didn't expect it. That's like definitely a makes sense bud moment. Alrighty. So that's our setup. Really curious how this is gonna go. Like, this is already an interesting draft. Let's go ahead and hop into the game. On the left side, we have Frank's Furters with Dallying Pig on Garrosh, Magic Master on Mephisto, Indecisive on Uther, Boggs on Raynor, and DJ Cold Cuts on Misha. As for the right side, we have Zul'jin Distillery with Ankle Shot on KT, DeWitt's on the Beetle, Nutcracker on Leoric, Befetch on Tychus, and, who did I miss? Led on Anduin! Wow, lots of aggression onto the Garrosh already, and he does go down. That is immediate gems in favor of Zul'jin Distillery. Let me just double check setting. Yeah, we're good. Alright, Beetle's also in a little bit of danger already, right out of the gate. Unfortunately, while there is armor stacking allowed for Garrosh specifically, it still can be a bit sketch sometimes. Especially with the Tychus. Tychus does a lot of damage. Does look like we're going to see a 4-man rotation initiating for Frank's Furters, and potentially Zul'jin Distillery. Yep, Zul'jin Distillery is also going to mirror it. Seriously, when did Div C gain a much higher play? Like, the level of play I've been noticing from Div C is significantly higher than when I played in Div C. I'm no longer confident about what division I would be placed in. 4-man rotation does continue. Forgot to enable the music. Sorry about that. And it does look like both sides are going to go for their camps here. Let's take a look at the solo lane. DJ Cold Cut's a little low on mana at the moment. That is always a danger when fighting Rexxar and Leoric. Leoric is putting some serious value in. The camps are about to crash, though. Garrosh buying himself a little bit of time as the rotation rotates onto him. 4-man rotation broken up a little bit as Raynor goes to go push the bot lane, and Leoric failed out trying to assist in cleaning up the camp in the mid lane here. Mephisto just, like, diving on the face of some of these guys. Like, that Mephisto, I know he teleports back out, but no chill, man. No chill. KT in a little bit of danger. He does get thrown and immediately pulled back. That is a long cooldown for a short cooldown, though. The next time someone's in danger from a Garrosh throw, Anduin may not have the pull there. We do go back into the 4-man rotation. It was a 2v1 in the bot lane there. Big rotation down to try and catch the soak from the Rexxar. And turn-in is one away for Zul'jin Distillery. Still one away. I'm kind of surprised. There we go! Zul'jin Distillery does have the first turn-in available in the game here. We might see some aggressive plays to try and get the turn-in. Garrosh, though, getting rotated on. Big root onto him. Living Bomb putting a lot of damage onto him. And he does detonate with help from a minigun. Unfortunately, Garrosh just not able to keep pace at the moment. Cleanse does go on to the Raynor there. Living Bomb, though, getting spread around to everybody, including Misha. Almost a turn-in for Zul'jin Distillery. We do see Frank's Furters very much aware of it, though. And Zul'jin Distillery does get the turn-in, taking down the Misha Bear as well. No escape for the Beetle, but he does manage to walk out. Let's see how much value this initial this initial objective gets. Garrosh is looking to try and throw over the wall. Mephisto being very aggressive on the back line. Spiders are arriving. Raynor trying to deal with the bot lane as best as he can. Here comes the wave that's probably going to kill Misha Bear there. Almost. Garrosh in a lot of danger though. Cleanse gets put onto him, throw onto the beetle, pull as well. Living Bomb onto Garrosh, but that armor does eat the Living Bomb, no problem. And he starts trying to heal up. Misha Bear in a fair amount of danger. But she's okay. She's a tough bear. Second there, I thought I spoke too soon. I was looking at the wrong health bar. Nope, Misha Bear's fine. Dive onto the Raynor. Beetle taking a fair amount of damage from that, but so is Raynor. Looks like only front walls from the first objective. And Frank's Furters have an objective turn-in of their own now. They may potentially go for it in the next 5 seconds or so when that's available. And it does not look like Zul'jin Distillery has any interest in competing, instead just trying to pick up the camp to mitigate it. Big throw onto the beetle, stun onto the beetle as he burrows. Just shy of the turn-in right now. Potentially trying to stall it out for a chance at a double turn-in. Looks like Frank's Furters is intentionally delaying this turn-in, probably either due to the camp or the chance of a double turn-in. Big stun onto the beetle, followed immediately by a throw and another stun. Pull is on CD now, though. Pens are available for both teams. You did just see Mephisto's unfortunately miss. That would have definitely led to a kill for sure. Rotation onto Rexar, and he does go down with help from the Entomb, and those gems will disappear before anyone can show up to try and collect them. There's still only one left required for Frank's Furters to get their initial turn-in. They're actually not too far off of a double turn-in still, so they didn't lose too much with the Rexar death. Except for XP. They did lose a fair amount of XP. Stun onto the Leoric. He does start to spooky walk out, healing himself up just fine. Both teams now have turn-in. Mid-camp is picked up for Frank's Furters, still on cooldown for the side of Zul'jin Distillery. And when all on his own, does try and get the turn-in. He does successfully get the turn-in. And blue turn... Oh no! In the top lane, the Web Weavers are snuck out by Zul'jin Distillery. There's a lot of gems on the line, as well as several forts with this turn-in. That is a very major downside to Frank's Furters. This is going to be a ton of pressure. Their lanes are going to be all pushed up when they go to turn in here. They may have waited too long to attempt their turn-in. Looks like Zul'jin Distillery will focus on the top lane here. Beetle positioning as aggressively as one can, completely zoning Garrosh away from his team. And Garrosh, who's incredibly well known for his wave clear potential, is stuck trying to clear mid, all on his lonesome. He does rotate... oh no, he doesn't rotate out. Is he entombed? He's not. Okay. Top fort is taken out by Zul'jin Distillery, followed immediately by bottom. Garrosh in a fair amount of danger. Unstoppable does come out. Big throw, the Entomb sealing him away. Invulnerable onto the Mephisto, saving him. Cocoon onto Garrosh. He's still very much in a position where he wants to be. Throw will be up by the time he comes back. Misha Bear is available. Stun lock onto Garrosh. Big taunt trying to silence everybody. Light bomb goes out, not finding anyone. Mephisto diving into the backline, trying to secure a kill in exchange for the Garrosh, but is unable to do so. All gems from Garrosh were picked up, I believe, though. Beetle does go back in onto the Raynor, who is a little too low for comfort. Double turn-in absolutely in the cards for Frank's Furters if they can manage it here, but they are currently down talent tier, structure, honestly everything. They're just down everything. Big rotation from Zul'jin Distillery into the bot lane here, trying to kill the Raynor. Entomb is available. Big root onto several. Help from the boop. Raynor does go down, but that is a lot of damage onto Nutcracker, who does not have an escape. Big taunt onto 2. Anduin is also in danger. Misha Bear finishing him off. Lots of damage from Mephisto, who teleports back far away from the fight. But that is a 3-for-1 trade, and most likely a turn-in for Frank's Furters. Lots of poking going out to try and mitigate the, or try and slow down the turn-in. But it does not look like that's going to happen at the moment. Blue Web Weavers are coming out, but these are going to be very far back. Leorc is back up and ready to fight. These are going to help stabilize Frank's Furters, but these are not going to get much. So the question is, how do they maximize this? And the answer is probably just bank on double turn-in. Push the lanes up as much as you can, try and get a kill, maybe 2. Not worry about what you can get out of the objective itself, and just focus on the second turn-in. And it looks like that's more or less what they're trying to do here, putting as much pressure as they can onto this top lane, trying to force the answer. Mephisto does dive in, losing a fair amount of his health. Misha Bear is starting to tank tower shots, not backing out yet. There she goes. Little low health there. Big root onto the Beetle. Lots of damage coming out. Light Bomb onto the poor Misha Bear, and Misha Bear is the only death to take place here. Meanwhile, the other lanes are getting pushed up quite far with help from the Web Weavers. And the second turn-in is definitely still available for Frank's Furters. And Zul'jin Distillery potentially have a turn-in coming up in the next, I want to call it 3 minutes? But it looks like they might instead go for the invade. They are up talent tiers at the moment. That is the camp picked up for Frank's Furters. Invulnerable onto the Raynor, trying to keep him alive through the Entomb, and it does successfully do so. Spooky Walk onto many, and it is Misha Bear who's the first to go down, followed immediately by Rexar. A lot of those gems are still available, not being picked up at the moment. That is 1 1/4 kills to Zul'jin Distillery. Because, you know, Rexar only counts as a quarter kill. Misha is the whole kill. Lanes are fairly pushed up on the side of Zul'jin Distillery. Turn-in still available for Frank's Furters, but I don't think they can sneak it at the moment. Turn-in will be available very soon for Zul'jin Distillery, though, especially as the lanes stack up and start pushing towards them. Leorc is picking up the neutral camp in the bottom. Mephisto, also not known for wave clear, trying to deal with that bot lane as best he can. And I can't do math. I don't know how many more gems our Zul'jin Distillery needs for their turn-in. Let's call it 10 and be good. There we go. They do have it available now. Both teams having their turn-ins available. Camps pushing on the side of Zul'jin Distillery. Beetle gets squished, though, big time. Root onto Misha. But it does look like Frank's Furters are going to try and get their turn in here. Mephisto has a ton of gems that he needs to offload here, so he does not lose them, and he does so there. These will help mitigate some of these camps, but again, these objectives for Frank's Furters are just neutralizing the advantage that their opponent has. They have yet to really secure a strong win condition of their own, and let alone utilize it to try and set up victory, honestly. They need a much stronger win here. And I think my cat's trying to get in there. Sounded like it. I don't know if she actually is. But that might be distracting if that happens. The Sound 51, thank you for the raid. Hello, everybody. We are about, let's call it, halfway into our game 1 between Frank's Furters and Zul'jin Distillery in C East. Lots of damage does go on to Mephisto. Big Entomb for Mephisto. In a little bit of danger, but he does get thrown out. Misha Bear does go down. Cocoon as well. Lots of damage onto Leorc. He tries to mitigate as much damage as he can. Does stay alive there. Mephisto re-engages. Invulnerable onto Raynor. Top 4 is taken out. Lots of pushing happening here. Rexar doing the best he can to stay alive with Misha back in the fray. He does pick up Mephisto's gems there. That is a very important thing, as they need as many gems as they can. Again, they need to try and set up a win con somewhere in here. I'm gonna take a sip while everybody clears lanes. No, Zul'jin Distillery is not doing double healer. Oh no, Leoric in a lot of danger. He does go down. The Spooky Walk, not enough, but Zul'jin Distillery does still have turn-in, and it looks like they're about to get it. Gets stopped just barely. Most of the gems are on Anduin. Big pull to save from the taunt there. Stun to keep the disengage going. Misha in a lot of danger. Bomb does get spread to Raynor. Stun onto Misha yet again, who dives out of the danger that she was just in. Another 5 gems, and Frank's Furters do have the turn-in available. Leoric is back, and 20s are available for Zul'jin Distillery. And with those 20s, they do get a turn-in. Lanes are pushed a little bit onto their side. Big light bomb onto a lot of people, and the cocoon to keep Garrosh at bay. Unstoppable and invulnerable onto Rexar. Garrosh just walking out of danger there. Living Bomb does get placed onto him. Web Weavers are gonna be about the middle of the map, more or less. Except for this one, which is right on top of the keep here. Odin gets popped. Wave blows up. Stun onto the Beetle, followed immediately by another stun. Pull should be a uncool. Oh no, he has double pull, so he might have pull. Living Bomb on the Garrosh. About half health, or a little bit over since he's a Garrosh. First keep of the game does go down to Zul'jin Distillery, buried alive, taking out both Misha and Rexar. 3 XP is always nice if you can get them both. Webweaver is getting cleared out from the middle lane there. Second keep does go down. Light Bomb failing, not able to find anyone there. Garrosh taking a ton of damage. Big root onto many though. 20 advantage is absolutely being felt by Zul'jin Distillery. But Frank's Furters putting in as much as they can to try and buy as much time as they can. They may have lost all keeps, but they have yet to lose the shield of their core yet. 20s are available for Frank's Furters now. Shield of the core going down very quickly. And Raynor and Mephisto are the only ones left. And Mephisto's goes down, meaning Raynor is the only one left, who's doing the best he can, but it is not enough. Game 1 goes in favor of Zul'jin Distillery. On to game 2 of our series of Frank's Furters versus Zul'jin Distillery. I forgot to ask who picked the map. So we'll just say no one picked the map for now. Zul'jin Distillery did win the coin flip. They decided to choose map pick, which then they banned out Volskaya Foundry as well as Sky Temple. Frank's Furters then banned out Cursed Hollow as well as Alterac Pass. Zul'jin Distillery then takes us to Tomb of the Spider Queen, which they proceed to win. And I forgot to ask who takes us to map 2. So someone takes us to Towers of Doom. Let's go ahead and hop into the draft. While we do that very quickly, Ronan, thank you for your support of our local charity. For those of you who are interested, I have several military friends, family, and the like, and several organizations I have supported and worked with indirectly. No one knows who I am. I've supported the Wounded Warriors Project and I would greatly appreciate your help in supporting our veterans. All of that shenanigans out of the way, and thanks again to Ronan. I actually just realized I forgot to mention that this stream because I was in a rush. But thank you very much. We do have the Zul'jin band out, as well as Johanna, as well as Tychus and Anduin. Diablo is our first pick almost immediately, followed by Dahaka and ATC. All solid picks for the map, all very solid picks for the map. And always good fun to see. I'm curious what this is. Probably healer? Maybe offlane? Vala? And the ever adorable Death Brightwing! I love Death Brightwing. So much better than this stupid monkey. Oh, I don't like the monkey. I don't. Does anyone like the monkey? No one likes the monkey. Zul gets banned out. A very strong contender on this map. This is one of the only maps that I tend to see him pretty regularly. And the Uther gets banned out as well. Probably a respect ban, in all honesty. I'm curious what this is. I'm guessing... not healer. They're gonna wait for the end for healer. So this is double damage here, probably. Unless they want to wait to counterpick with the damage. They might wait to counterpick with the damage, honestly. Falstad and Lucio, so they are waiting for the counterpick or a surprise pick. It'll be interesting to see which. Both Brightwing and Lucio provide a lot of just passive area healing, which means picks are going to be a little easier, but stalling the fights long is not going to really work out for them. Kel'Thas is the second damage for Zul'jin Distillery, and Malthael is gonna be our offlaner. So we are likely going to see the offlane rotate top and mid, which is pretty common. And the full 4-man fight in the bot lane. Holy Cow is a pretty good combo, so getting rid of Uther, yeah. Now, I always side on the respect ban for a number of reasons. I like the thought process of respect bans. Orphea! It's been a while since I've seen an Orphea. I like Orphea. She's good fun. It'll be interesting to see how she works out in these comp, but yeah. The Holy Cow is probably the reason for that ban. Again, I just like respect bans for a number of reasons. I go into most of them in my last stream, in all honesty. Let's go ahead and get into game 2. Alrighty.
Prepare yourself for
On the left side, we have Dallying Pig, rather, on the Cow, etc. Indecisive on Lucio, Boggs on Falstad, DJ Coldcuts on the Lizard, and Magic Master on Orphea. For Frank's Furters.
The battle begins.
On the side of Zul'jin Distillery, trying to go for a 2-0, we've got DeWitt on Diablo, Ankle Shot on Kel'Thas, Lead on Brightwing, Nutcracker on the Christmas Malthael, and Befretched on Vala. Orphea is also fun to combo with ETC, yeah. Like, even pre-10, that combo is pretty scary. If they're in sync well. She also just provides a lot of wave clear. Big stun onto the Lucio there, Living Bomb spreading a little bit. Let's go ahead and throw these talents up there. There we go, now people are gambling. Oh, Falstad in a bit of danger there. Polymorph does go out onto him. He does have barrel roll and does use it to get out. Though the arrow might just take him down. Doesn't, with help from Lucio. The double soaking does begin in the top and mid there. and these waves getting absolutely decimated by the Fire Mage Kel'Thas. Camp does start getting picked up for Zul'jin Distillery. We might see an invade as they were very quick to clear that out, and it does look like Diablo is sniffing it out, ETC positioning as aggressively as he can to keep it going. Orphea bouncing into the enemy team. Vala not able to handle the Orphea chomp though. She does have full chaos, so she's going to be a little aggressive there, trying to keep as much damage going out as possible. She's also not super valuable for clearing the camp. Vault that might get charged there. Panic barrel roll out. EDC does slide onto the Kel'Thas. Lots of combos go out to him. Orphea just does not quite have enough damage at this stage to finish the kill. But they did manage to bully the enemy team out of the lane, meaning the camp does get cleared up for free here. Living Bomb not spreading around this time. Serious nerf to Kel'Thas. To be fair, they have a lot of opportunities and a lot of ways to get out of spread range. Does look like we currently see 4-man rotation between mid and bot. Both advantageous and disadvantageous in various ways. Falstad is heading to the bottom lane there to try and pick up the soak as best as he can. And it looks like Dahaka is going to have to contest with multiple in the top lane. Falstad might be able to fly up there and help him out, but DJ Cold Cuts does get flipped and slammed into the wall, immediately followed up with a stun from KT. Orphea has her E to try and poke, but does not get it out, and that is a double objective for Zul'jin Distillery, giving them a solid advantage already. Lucio in a lot of danger, though, does go down. I didn't entirely see how that happened, honestly. That is a seriously solid pick right now, as I'm pretty sure these camps come back up. Oh, no, they're longer than I thought. So it does not give them the opportunity to invade. Did Dahaka go for... No, he went Spell Armor. He's going for the, basically spin to win build. Oh my word, these ganks are brutal. Tons of damage onto ETC. Almost gets taken out by the Kel'Thas Q. That is a lot of damage dealt to a tank in a very short amount of time. They've got to be very vigilant looking at these rotations. Malthael can just keep double rotating, meaning that these 4-man rotations seriously put them at risk. Speaking of at risk, Orphea bounces out of danger with a Living Bomb. Unfortunately, not going to save her. And we do see the invade coming out from Zul'jin Distillery. Camps are very important on this map. There's also a single point neutral objective. This is the time for Frankfurters to try and equalize the core health right now. They do have a global, which should help mitigate the double soaking potential of Malthael, as well as giving them extra value in the team fight in Malthael. Don't disrespect Dibbles, absolutely not. These Dibble picks are brutal. Speaking of, looks like Lucio's the next one to fall to them, but he doesn't. In fact, it's Kel'Thas who's the one who falls. Just a little bit too aggressive, but the objective is picked up for Zul'jin Distillery, meaning more or less nothing came out from that pick. Dibbles, though, losing a lot of HP. He does have his Soul Stone, and at this point, if he loses it, he has to rebuild it from zero. Not exactly the situation you want to be in as a Dibbles. I think it's level 10 when he gets the... Yeah. Orphea does get picked up in that mid lane, though. Frankfurters need to start being a lot more careful if they're going to try and pull out a win here. These picks are going to slowly snowball them into oblivion. You can't be this aggressive with this Dibbles just wandering around, picking you up and throwing you against walls like you're made out of clay. 10 advantage is available for Zul'jin Distillery, and they will be using that to pick up the boss, try and increase their advantage on the core. And we go back to soaking. Orphea starting to show some fear from the Dibbles there, backing out almost immediately. We see the 3-man rotation, ETC rotating a tad aggressively. Dibbles did not have anyone to follow up, though. The respect for the Dibbles has begun! Polymorph does go out onto the ETC. Big Apocalypse finding only one, though. Jaws, unfortunately, not finding any. Brightwing goes down almost immediately. Big Gust forcing KT back into the fight. And he does go down 2-for-0 trade as the objective is picked up. Malthael trying to pick up the objective does get stopped by Falstad by a pixel, doing as best as he can. Blast right onto the Falstad, who did barrel roll out of the danger. And it is double objective picked up for Frank's Furters. That should almost completely equalize everything that has been done so far. Except for the boss, and in fact that is exactly what happened. Both camps are being picked up by both sides, and I need a sip of water. Lucio goes to check the camp, gets polymorphed and picked off. You gotta start respecting the Dibbles. He's in the bushes. He's in the bushes. You don't know where he is, he's in the bushes. He really does seem to like those bushes. To be fair, most good tanks really love bushes. I wonder why it's not like they're one of the most important ways of gathering vision. I'm quickly gonna check out, that's actions per minute, XP! Malthael does not have the commanding lead of XP as you would expect between that matchup. So, Dahako doing a lot to try and keep his team in the XP game. Palantir is available for Zul'jin Distillery. And a Q build Dibbles is scary. And DeWitt knows how to showcase it. It does look like we see a bit of a gank going out onto Malthael, but it's in fact Orphea who goes down. The Apocalypse getting a bit of a stun around the place. Big shields out. Dallying Pig taking a fair amount of damage, but does stay alive. Talent tiers are equal. Objective does come up though. It is a single objective though. So Frank's Furters does not lose too much core health
Be swift,
due to that fight
heroes.
loss.
Do not let the Gravekeeper's cronies reach the altars before you.
However, in terms of siege, that's a different story, as we do start seeing Zul'jin Distillery pushing into the bot lane. Dibble's aggression starting to get a little punished here. Lucio doing the best he can to stay afloat, has basically no HP. Big Gust onto Kalthas. His team tried to back him up. The Dibble's aggression just a little too much that time. Doesn't look like we're going to get another pick, though. Lots of damage onto Brightwing, though. Poor Brightwing dropping very quickly. Stun onto Brightwing, who just teleports herself out of danger. It turns out that if you don't respect the Dibbles, you die. If Dibbles doesn't respect you, you die. Or they die. Or not necessarily die, but come close to dying. Big beat slowing down the ETC pick there. That was a lot of work put out that just got instantly negated, and it should be available by the next time it's needed. Both sides picking up their camps, and the off-lane double soak continues. This is a triple objective. This is Frank's Furters' opportunity to get back into this game. If they could pull it off, they could do a lot of core damage here. blue camp does get cleared out. Big stun onto several, as well as crushing jaws. APOC finding 2, but the red health bars are dropping very quickly. And it looks like the Dahaka Malthael fight is continuing in the top lane. A little bit of poking to try and stall out as long as they can in the bot lane. I want to check out the top, but it looks like the off lanes are going to take their gentleman's trade. Falstad doing all he can to try and get the objective, and it is a 2-for-1 objective trade. 16s are available. Orphea, or Lucio actually, doing everything he can to stay afloat. Orphea staying very healthy. Diablo does go down. It looks like Brightwing might be next, but she does survive by the skin of her ever adorable teeth. Malthael does pick up the top neutral camp, taking advantage of the fact that Dahaka did bail out in order to assist the fight. One of the many advantages of the global, but they do manage to pop back up to clear out the camp almost immediately in that top lane. Zul'jin Distillery still has some core health advantage. Gust goes out to save the Falstad in the bot lane. This fort is definitely in danger, though. Actually, is it a fort or is it a keep? I don't think it's a keep yet. I don't remember when they get upgraded. APOC does go out. There's a bit of a gank going out in the top lane. Dahaka stays afloat, but the boss is getting picked up by the side of Zul'jin Distillery. Sneaky boss play. Furters does not have the opportunity to try and contest that. That is 4 damage onto the enemy core. Dahaka does not have any essence, does get polymorphed left and right, does go out. Big jaws, though, trying to mitigate the loss. That is a 1-for-1 trade right now. Malthael doing a lot in the back line. He has no team to back him up, though, and he's losing a lot of health. He stays alive by the skin of his teeth. Diablo, though, is pretending like he still has full souls. He technically does, basically does, but still, he does end up going down. Do fairy dragons have teeth, or do they just melt things first? I think they have teeth. Death Brightwing definitely has teeth. Does look like Furters are going to pick up the enemy camp with the invade. With doubled objective pickup, the boss was completely mitigated. It is now 12-12 for the core health. In this camp, already putting in some value to equalize the siege, and they have their camp still on its way to back them up. Malthael, though, is able to absolutely decimate the wave, as is Kel'Thas. And the siege does begin in the bot lane, while the Dahaka continues to double soak. Minions are lost, though. Malthael looking for a flank here. Not find it. Dibbles does get dismounted and slowed, and Furters does manage to walk away, not even really losing anything, not even mana really. Big rotation towards the top. Dahaka probably smells it, and he does as he begins to walk away, but there isn't actually a rotation up there. Dibbles going back down, looking for another pick, it looks like. But he is heard, or seen, or in some way reacted to keep them safe. They are starting to understand how this Diablo works, how he thinks, and they're starting to be able to use that to their advantage to stay safe. Diablo does begin the aggressive movements. APOC not finding anyone break it down, stalling out any damage that could have happened, a little bit preemptive. That is ult for ult trade, not much value gotten out of either. Dahaka can show back up at any moment. Malthael is beginning the channel. Orphea losing a lot of HP to the stun lock combo. Mosh Pit, though, does get stunned out. Isolation onto KT. He's not able to do a whole lot. Last rites onto the cow. It is a 2-for-0 trade at the moment. Diablo, though, very low, does get teleported to, does stay afloat. And it is a 3-for-0 trade, 20 advantage for Furters, but the objective does go in favor of Zul'jin Distillery. I manage to say all that without trembling? How did I manage to say all that without stumbling over my words and then immediately stumble over my words? Diablo does go in after the false bat, who does barrel roll out of danger. A 4 health, and I'm pretty sure next objective is either a double or a triple, which is not what you want to hear for Frank's Furters. It's just a double.
Has destroyed a fort.
However, they do lose the bottom bullet. It's gotta be a keep by now. It's definitely a keep. Thank you, Ronan. I like to think that my ability to succeed when things are difficult and fail when things are easy is incredibly impressive. Diablo does get the flip onto the ECC, not much else out of it though. Camp is pushing in, that is potentially 3 core damage if it does not get stopped. Should get stopped relatively easily. The altars though are announced here. And again, both of these go in favor of Zul'jin Distillery. The game ends here, and Frank's Furters absolutely is aware of that fact. They're also aware of the 3 core damage here that has to be answered, or else they can't give either objective. Zul'jin Distillery positioning aggressively in favor of the objective, trying to secure the double that they need, taking advantage of the fact that the rotation is slow due to the camp. Dahaka stalling out on the right side as best he can. He does pop the stasis, trying to stay afloat. Last right's not getting a whole lot of value out. Big APOC objective is picked up by Frank's Furters to wind tunnel, buying as much time as possible. Moshpit not able to find anyone. Crushing Jaw is not able to find anyone. That is double health bar down though. The Unkillable keeping the Dahaka very much healthy. Orphea doing the best she can to stall as long as possible. ETC does pick up the objective. Orphea for double objective is a very fair trade. Unfortunately, with that bottom tower down, this is not going to be a whole lot. They need a double objective minimum in order to secure a win, and that is assuming that they... Actually, even if they get the bottom tower back. Dahaka does go down. He bought as much time as he could for his team. And is the boss getting picked up for Zul'jin Distillery here, which I'm assuming was what Dahaka died to try and prevent. KT backs out. Fort is retaken by Frank's Furters. This is a single objective next, and potentially game ending if Zul'jin Distillery gets it. They only need 1 objective from here on out. Don't really need to care too much about any of the towers as long as they have I guess no, they still need all their towers. They need all their towers, but they don't need any enemy towers, is what I'm trying to communicate. Camp does get started by Frank's Furters. Diablo does see it. The entire red health bar is there. APOC gets popped. Not finding anyone as our blue team does disengage. Camp does get grabbed, as does Orphea. Big Q wind tunnel trying to keep Orphea alive. Unkillable keeps her alive as well. Falstad does go in. There was a Pyroblast was taken? I think that's the first Pyroblast I've seen, honestly. Lots of damage going out onto a lot of people. Tongue does pull the Diablo into the core range there. With the double objective available, they only, Zul'jin Distillery only needs 1. Meanwhile, Frank's Furters needs 2. This is game ending if either team gets both, but it is only 1 picked up by Zul'jin Distillery, securing our game 2 and absolutely securing the lack of a game 3. And Vayne goes wild at the mention of Pyroblast. Which is fair. Dude absolutely loves his Pyroblast. I'm not gonna bother refilling my water. There's just the interview left. Alright. Curious. Distillery was very much favored by the Gamba. Not hearing anything about an interview. Let's give them another minute, just in case. But we may not get an interview, to be fair. It is quite late. Banger of a game? Absolutely. Game 1 was pretty good. Game 2 was very solid. I was up in the air to the very last second for sure. So thank you all for joining me. I have been Shadonis, your host and caster for this evening. Always good fun to see lots of new faces and cast for old teams as well as new ones. And I will send you guys over to my dear friend Limebus, and I'll see you... Yeah, I'll see you all next time. Peace.
Suddenly you're nowhere to be found. I turn around.